handling all of this emotionally
Someone
right
got
now?
sleeping first.
Man, as an American, it's hard because it's just it's a growing pain of sorts.
No,
You know
it's
what I
not what you
mean? We
do.
know that our country is
If they're gonna
progressing.
come to you,
We
gonna
know that
knock
on the
you
other
off.
side
You
of that
jump
progression,
first
that we
before
all are
the.
going to be
If they
better.
get right close to you, you
I
jump,
think our
and then
community
press the
and
button to get
people
back on.
who are essentially descendants of the cornerstone of this nation. And the cornerstone of this nation is the Constitution is important, the founding fathers was important, but free
Oh
labor
wow!
allowed all that to
I
stand.
feel so bad.
And as a descendant of a slave, and then when I say descendant, I don't mean anything long. My great grandmother taught me
Oh,
how to
I'm
sew
so
on a
glad I'm
shirt
having this
as she was
cheesy
sewing
garlic pizza.
blankets that we still use in my house. Her mother was born enslaved. So that's how close slavery is. I know how to sew a button because the slave taught her child to. And that child taught me to. That's how close. So I think that I'm excited that progress is happening. But I know
So
on the
what are
other
you
side of
doing
that
then, Harry,
progression,
after this event?
Brianna, Mr. Floyd,
So what are you
brother
doing
that was
then,
killed
Harry?
here,
Are you singing
there
or
are
coming out?
martyrs.
I might play a couple
And we've long been martyrs for the progression of this country.
Yeah,
And I
5 games will
hope
be
that as
fine.
we enter into another martyrdom, another black person
I'm
has
watching this
died
event
at the hands
because it's almost ended to me. I think. I hope. I hope I get something for this because I actually feel so effing bad.
You don't need to.
Yeah, I do because I cop a no, do you know when you like kneel on the back of someone's neck? Do you know it can stop you breathing? That's what killed him. So I'm just pissed off. Oh,
as long as you keep doing that, you're going to capitalize.
No, I'm definitely going to pissed
and I
off.
appreciate it. And I don't mean capitalize in a monetary way. I mean,
oh yeah, because
these
I
kids
remember
are
when it
capitalizing,
happened.
progressing.
Shit.
Organizers on the ground root level who've been working for years to campaigning around police brutality and violence have in an instant been able to organize people to progress laws.
Yeah, it's been a lot of
And then after that fire
impressive
happened,
moments. I mean, you
he
mentioned about
scratched
how
me
the
for no
young people,
reason.
they're so organized.
Didn't he?
Because I think about the progression from, say, Ferguson and now, and it's been pretty outstanding when you think about it. What has impressed you the most about what you're seeing?
Wait, check his Jaden's on and invite you.
What has impressed me? That
Oh, Jaden.
Yeah, Jaden. Because I was.
we rioted in Atlanta.
Oh.
There were riots in other cities. There were riots in Los Angeles. But there was such a stronghold on information. Local news wouldn't let what other cities know until after it was over. What's impressed me is the ability to use technology.
No,
we haven't gotten as efficient as Hong Kong.
I'm watching the rest of it.
You are seeing at a day and age where in an instant people are able to mob on a place. People are able to say what needs to be said and go and get ghosts. You're seeing in an instant what our grandparents were able to do. And like we have a house party app in which people can sit down on that house party app. You can organize with those 8 people to know what are we going to do in school, what are we going to do in local school boards, what are we going to do with city council. Our grandparents used to have to do that in the basement. Now you're able to do it over your phones and organize effectively and immediately. So I'm impressed by the level of organization I've seen. Because when I was 16 years old, we'd have to literally meet for 30 days to plan something that you might strike that might be 3 hours or even 30 minutes. But you're constantly there. These kids are able to do it, and these young people and these organizers are able to do it in a way. But that only happens when you train like Floyd Mayweather. Organizers are like Mayweather. They never not train. You know, and I think that these are the people again that we should be looking to follow in these times.
But you dropped the mention of the house party app. Mike, are you on house party? You use it?
I just found out about it. I got the cool people in my life helped me. 2 apps I'm most interested in right now are House Party and there's an app called Convo that allows me to speak directly back and forth with people. That's a lot cooler than sometimes Twitter where stuff gets lost in translation. But you know, I'm still over there tweeting with the angry moms and dads. Shouts out to the old folks.
I think about where activism was on this issue in particular when Ferguson happened, and looking at it now, and it's while there was definitely a lot of positives that came out of Ferguson, particularly the Black Lives Matter movement. Seeing the level and the difference is that clearly there was a lot of lessons learned there, and they've applied them now, and so it definitely seems much more cohesive, and that's been impressive. What has impressed you about what you're seeing, especially from these young people who really have seemed to seize this moment?
What I've seen be most beautiful about this time is kids have the ability to adjust and move and be like water. They're truly plotting, planning,
That's
strategizing,
correct.
organizing, mobilizing. The skateboard kids
Yeah, I'm there.
came in. Usually you would see in the 60s, black people look like me. We make public protests. We get our heads screwed. Simply said, white
Yeah, shut up. Just as well. You don't have to make me take the mick out of
Got a
us.
D rank.
You bastard.
Wanna respawn? Can't respawn. Now I need to run all the way back up. Ah! No, I can actually hear you eating now.
Sorry.
Sorry, I can hardly hear. You can hear really badly, so you don't need to. Literally, I'm so bad at hearing things.
No, I'm bad.
I'm kind of bad. I need my headphones on my.
Although I don't want violence in the streets because those kids deserve to grow to be adults without being soldiers against the state that their parents pay taxes to. It impressed me that the proletariat shows government that you work for us. And in this moment, we are exercising our right to make public display of the evil that has happened. It makes me proud that I live in a country that has long promised equality, rarely given it to people who look like me. People who don't look like me defending.
You made an interesting note and observation about the skateboard crew. And I think anybody who's watching has noticed that it's not just black people who are out here protesting.
No,
Like
it's not. It's a tapestry of people.
It's
a tapestry of people.
like
The Amish.
it's because it has like a company on
Wasn't
it,
that crazy?
and you don't want us knowing the company.
I was thinking, who told them? Right? It was like,
I was so impressed though. I was so thankful. My heart was filled with joy.
yeah, so you're seeing all these different types of people that you never thought this issue would resonate with them. It kind of reminds me of your music. Your music is unapologetically pro-black, unapologetically, right?
Don't you think,
But
Harry?
yet, when you look at a Killer Mike fan, it's across multicultural section of people.
Don't
Why
you
do you
think the
think
coppers in
your
America
music
are
is able to
assholes?
resonate that way, despite the fact that you are also clearly talking to your people?
Yeah, I'm proud to be me.
Especially killing people as well.
I like black people. I'm not making no excuses. I'm not making no apologies coming in the door. I love us.
Yeah,
I'm
they shoot.
in love with us. And because I love me, it has nothing to do or affecting my love of others. I have a very good friendship
The
with
only reason
East Indian cousins, Raj and Neil. They own the store right next to Walter. On what's happening. So if you're from Atlanta, you know about Walter.
Oh no, the coppers never mix in America.
You know about the store right next door. These guys have
Just a
always
flaw.
been good to me. Raj went to India. He came back, brought my wife incense, these beautiful little elephant characters. He's proud to be Indian. I've learned about being Indian from my Indian friends. When you're truly who you are, how could you be offended? How could you not love it or like it? Like, man, I'm a part of the original people on earth. I'm from the continent that birthed all humanity. I think when you wear that proudly and unapologetically, and not from a place of needing someone to be below you, there's no reason for a people not to like me. You know, I like you. You know, I got plenty of heroes that don't look like me. There's a portrait of John Brown on my wall in my basement. I thought he's a hero. He doesn't have to look like me. You know what I mean? But I refuse to act like people who look like me aren't great. I didn't say good. I didn't say good enough. I didn't say equal. I said great. I'm from a great and mighty people. And if you can't accept that, then maybe I'm not for you. But I believe that because I am simply who I am, I believe that gets accepted. Because you know what? I remember being on the tour bus, and I'm on there with a bunch of Northeasterners because of course, my rap partner's a white guy from Brooklyn.
Can you see someone on zip line?
We're on there and we're watching swamp people, and everybody's laughing. And I come up and stagger to the front, and I look at it, and I start smiling, and I look in the room and say, I got more in common with them than any of y'all, and I just walk to the back. Now, because it's the truth.
I want to get on
I'm
top
a
of the
Southern
screen.
boy. My grandparents from
Wait,
Alabama.
I'm actually on top of it!
I grew up more
I'm
like
actually on top of
people
the screen.
on those shows. So I think across
Pardon
cultural
me.
lines and across racial lines, people identify with me, but just because I'm your
Alright.
typical American guy. You know, and I have some special things. I'm not going to deny that I'm special.
The
You know, I
fuck?
was a smart kid, went to Morehouse, had an understanding of some cool stuff. I married a beautiful woman, that helps, you know. But I think that ultimately what resonates with people is that I'm a regular guy. One of my best friends in the world is a white guy from Brooklyn. So I think that people understand that I have the ability not to look past your race or ethnicity, not to look past who you are culturally, but to look at it and love it and learn from it without wanting to co-opt it or be it.
What you're talking about,
Yeah.
in a very succinct and robust way,
Bro!
is really allyship, and that's been a
Absolutely.
word that, yeah, you have a lot of. It sounds like you have a lot of really great allies that are in your life. Now, in this moment, I've gotten the question constantly. I assume you have too, about how to be an ally. What do I have to do? Right? I've had so many conversations with white people, like really good friends of mine, in the last
Yeah.
2 weeks, where, all right, guys, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but
Yeah, but hold on.
hold on a second, just relax. But
Absolutely.
that, nevertheless, that being said, is that, what would you say
Bro!
to somebody who wants to not only be an
No, these
ally,
don't
but be a
mix
good
really.
ally?
These
You want
don't
to be a
mix
good ally in
really.
this moment. White
Well, yeah.
corporation, white
These
person
don't
with
mix
the
to just
means.
following me.
That's a worthy allyship.
And it's
On a
seriously
ground level,
pissing
if
me
you're just
off.
working hard every week, you don't know what to do. You're an electrician, you're a plumber. Grab one young man who doesn't look like you, a young woman, and teach them that trade. That's allyship.
Bro!
Allyship isn't just throwing the money, but if you got the big money, put it towards somewhere. But on a very real and basic level, my son had an accident with a man named Keith. I bought my son a car. My son Malik, with a very pretty girl in the front seat, rear-ended this guy Keith. Calls me. I pull up to Keith and the police officer. I say, if he'll allow me to handle this privately, I just don't want to call my insurance company because, I had just got in an accident.
Yes!
I drive first.
I got him to leave
My
me
son,
alone.
Keith, in good faith, gave me the opportunity to do that. And me and this man became friends. I'm literally friends with this white man who told me about Atlanta
Bruh, piss
flight
off!
and desegregation, who's taught me about fatherhood and the importance of presence in your child's life. That doesn't happen if we're not open. Allyship with white people doesn't have to be an organization of saving the world. But you do have to do what man Keith did. You do have to have blind faith, trust someone who doesn't look like you, and allow that person to educate you. So an allyship is not just calling your
Bruh,
grandparents
these
saying what I
someone will
do.
not leave me alone.
It's going to black
This is pissing me
organizations that
off.
might be local and saying, what am I do? It's calling your friend and saying, what's the next thing you're doing? And I want to be an extra set of hands. Doesn't mean you get to go to the black people meeting, but it does mean if they say, I'm going to feed people on Skid Row, you show up. And you show up with empathy and care, you do it. And I'm going to tell you, we need doctors in that space. We need lawyers in that space. We need legislators in that space. We need the people who are really empowered to be in that space, because there's some things that need to happen on ground level that once the grassroots people have gotten in here, there needs to be money put behind these things. A lot of the problems that we have now that are erupting could have been solved in 96,
Bro, let me
2006,
watch this.
2016, and all these other years, but we chose not to.
They will not
because
let
we
me watch
trusted the
this
right
thing
thing's
at
gonna
all.
happen. Right thing's not going to happen unless we make it.
stay
And
away from
after that, you have
No,
the
because what happened
potential
though,
to
they
truly
have
be
to
brothers
follow
and
me.
sisters. You have the potential to be past the letting cultural, national, religious markers evict the fact that I know that I'm talking and I'm with a human being, and at our very core, past any physical difference. My job is to honor the soul of
I
that
know
other
what to
human
do.
being. So there's no
Go in the
need to
skin
have allies
disguise.
because I'm not at war. I truly have a brother and sister. There's no need to have an ally because there's no threat of war.
Then you
I
will not
refuse to send
recognize me.
any 18-year-old boy or girl off to die. And that has to be something
Okay,
that's
I'm not
much,
gonna
much
have the
deeper
same
than
things on.
policy, much, much deeper than the human condition in the last 500 years. We have to get back
I'm
to
having
that.
totally
So
different
that's
things
my
on.
humble opinion. I don't know,
Harry, you still
where
there?
that takes white America,
Okay.
but I hope we stay standing up, fighting together.
Mike, we've been having this great conversation, and a lot of people watching, they probably want
Oh,
to
it
know,
ended.
because again, these things happen in flashes where 1 minute we're talking about this, everybody's fired up, everybody's
It
willing to do
almost
things, and
ended
then
for
the next
me.
minute,
Yeah.
the momentum dies. So how can the
Almost.
people who are watching now, how can they keep this conversation, this
Harry,
action,
they're
this
not even
momentum going?
messing with me now.
Take this conversation, get 8 to 10 people around you, your neighbors and people who live within 10 square miles, and start to see what you can do to affect. And then connect with other people that may be in closer proximity, 30, 40, 50 miles, even another city or places that are doing it right, or that are doing it right in other places. Connect